Do you know what time it is? It's silver and gold time, market update time, stocks time, and also bump ball, my trading lessons time. Let's get straight into it. Alright guys, do not place today based on what you see in this video. I'm going to cover a lot of stuff in this video actually. I'm going to cover some market. I'm going to have a market update across the board as well too. I've got a little thing saying, you know, silver and gold is going to crash, you know, and all that sort of stuff. So we'll get into that. So do not place trade based on this video. This is just general advice only. I'm not a perfect trader, as I'm going to talk about here in this video. I'm going to be very open and honest about some of the mistakes that I've made just recently, and also, yeah, so just don't place trade based on what I say in this video. It's just educational, okay? So I'm going to give you market updates. I'm also going to give you some stocks that I'm actually looking at right now that I'm very bearish on, and I'm going to finish off today with some lessons one major lesson that keeps coming back to haunt me every now and then. I go through a really good winning streak, and then every now and then my ego gets involved, and then I get one or two or three slaps. And thankfully they're not big slaps where it's wiped my entire account up, but I had a few losses just recently this morning while trading, and I realized, just looking back, being honest with myself, there's some lessons there, and I want to be honest with you guys about those lessons. So anyway, lucky for me, I have good money management because I protected literally most of my account and therefore continue up and running. So let's get straight into this. Now, the title of this video, guys, I put that there because I had an email saying silver and gold crash. Now, I'm not going to get into what the email talked about, but the email basically said, listen, John, you keep being very bullish on silver and gold. You don't understand that it's manipulated, it's this, it's that, and you have no idea you have no idea what's going on. That they're going to keep dumping and dumping and dumping it on there. These charts don't work on silver and gold. Oh man, I've heard that so many times. Charts don't work on anything, right? They just don't look at charts. Just buy something because you think it's a good idea. So they said to me, John, basically the silver and gold is going to crash. It's going to keep going down and going to keep going down, going to keep going down from here. And you don't understand that the central banks and all that sort of stuff, they're pumping billions of dollars back into the markets. That's the reason why Dow Jones are making new highs, and they're just going to keep dumping and dumping silver and gold, and it's going to keep going down. It's been manipulated for years, and they're not going to allow this. They're not going to allow silver and gold to go up. Right. Okay. So, am I going to listen to you, that person who wrote that, or am I going to listen to someone like Ray Dalio, who recently put an email out and say, listen, at least have 10% of your portfolio in silver and gold? Let me think about that. Am I going to listen to you about what's happening in the stock market, or am I going to listen to Ray Dalio, who's the most successful hedge fund investor of all time? Am I going to listen to him when he says, there's a lot of risk in the markets right now, be careful with this, etc., etc., etc.? Interesting, right? Interesting. The thing is this, guys, is that I'm not going to go back into silver and gold. You guys know what I think about silver and gold, but I want to, if you haven't seen my video yesterday, go back and see that in the channel, the prior one to this. But don't think about don't think about the markets going to crash and all that sort of stuff. Again, just go back to what the charts are telling you. The charts are giving us some early warning signs, okay? Or the charts are giving us some signs about what's actually going on. And when you look at, especially when you look at things like, especially like gold, that the gold is actually continuing down through here, I don't see anything wrong with what's actually happening here with gold. Gold has made a new high, it's come back down, and yes, it is breaking below these lows through here, just and it's actually just hovering around where it is right now. But don't be so focused on gold and silver going to crash. I don't believe that's going to happen. Focus on what you can control, which is the charts, right? That's all you can focus on. That's all you can do, is focus on those things there and nothing else. Make sense? So that's all you want to focus on when actually doing that. Now, when you're doing that, okay, when you're doing that, and when you're trading like that, and when you're trading with just what you think, it's not a good idea. Go back and look at the market. Go back, bring up your weekly charts. Go back, look at the market, and tell me, and look at the highs and lows, and read the chart, because the chart's really telling you what's really going on. So that's a bit of an update on silver and gold there, guys. Again, nothing's really changed from yesterday. Again, if I bring up my daily charts here, well, yeah, my overall charts here, you can see that basically and essentially, yeah, how about those for your apples, for your grammar apples, basically and essentially. It's still come back down to here, guys. We made a high. Again, I believe we're likely to make a high low here. And it's like, not what you think or not. Again, just look at the charts. What's happened recently? We made a low. We made a higher high. It's come back down. If we do make a higher low through here, yes, we're likely to start picking back up and breaking past these previous highs. So guess what? Focus on what the charts are telling you, all right? So there we go for that there. Looking at the markets, man, the Dow Jones and everything else is just taken off, isn't it? Just absolutely taken off. Now, one thing I do want to keep you alert on the overall markets is this, okay? I believe we're in a bubble when it comes to the markets, and I do believe we're likely to get a severe pullback soon. Again, I'm not saying today, I'm not going to pick a date, I'm not going to be bipolar, I'm not going to try and pick a date because that's just crazy. I am not going to pick a top. I'll always continue to trade with the trend. And if you've seen my videos for the last few months, continue to trade with the trend, you would have done quite well. And throw on that voice and that thoughts and those opinions at the window. But I want to alert you guys to something that I see here, okay? And this is something that I was talking to with my private clients just recently, but I want to share something with you. So what we're looking at right now is we're looking at a line chart, okay? This is a weekly line chart. Now, if I squeeze my weekly line chart up, you can actually see what's really going on through here when it comes to the markets, okay? But let me bring up a monthly line chart. And I want to share with you guys something here. Look how vertical, all right? And if you guys have been following along with me for a while, you guys know I talk about like the vertical spike that happened in Bitcoin. Okay, now Bitcoin's picked up since then, and so on and so forth. But whenever something, go back in history, whenever something goes this vertical, like here, you can see how vertical this overall monthly Dow Jones chart has been. That's pretty scary. Again, this is a monthly chart. Okay, guys, a monthly chart, and this just simply tells me that something is not right, and we are in very, very, very bubble territory. Again, if I go have a look at the S&P 500, same thing. Look how vertical that goes up. All right, it's just simply just straight up vertical. Now, again, that's a bubble to me, but the thing is, you don't know when the end of the bubble is. Now, let me also show you something else here. This is the Nasdaq. Look at the Nasdaq. Now, the last time the Nasdaq was this vertical, the last time the Nasdaq was this vertical, or not really the last time, we had a bit of a vertical move here, didn't we? But not as steep as we had through here. The last time we had this vertical spike, this was over here, right? And then suddenly we started getting some severe, we had the tech crash. So whenever something gets, and it happens all the time, or like 90% of the time, whenever you get a big vertical spike, that's danger territory. To me, that's like a blow off, but that's danger territory. So I believe we're in a bubble. The problems with bubbles is you don't know when they're going to end. They can keep going and going and going, and this thing can keep going for another 6 months, 12 months, a year more. That's the reason why I always say, go back to your charts, who's in control, trade with the trend, and that's all you need to worry about. Make sense, guys? So that's all you need to focus on. That's all you need to worry about, and let everything else handle itself. Make sense? So that's what you need to focus on there. I did notice that a couple of the small stocks have absolutely just been vertical as well too. So I'm expecting to see a bit of a pullback out of those as well too. Now let's go and have a look at some actual stocks, guys, that I'm looking at right now. Or actually no, one stock that I'm not looking at, that I'm actually bearish right now. I've got put options right now is MCD, McDonald's. I've got put options on McDonald's right now. Now, there's a lot of reasons why I got put options on this. One, I believe we're in a bubble territory. Two, I believe we're topping out. And three, to me, it's starting to get a lot of weakness and a lot of weakness in McDonald's. So I'm actually bearish right now. I've got put options in McDonald's, and I believe we're likely to start seeing, start to see some downside here coming in McDonald's. A few other, so that's actually one stock there. One stock that I'm actually looking to get into right now that I'm actually very bearish on, which is Apple. All right, I'm very bearish on Apple. And so as you can see, this whole movement through here, if I look at Apple right now, and I can see what's happening with Apple right now. We've come back down. Look at this here. So I'm waiting for a downward move with a good volume spike. But this whole thing here, I'm very, very, very bearish on Apple. Very bearish on Apple. Because as you can see, right, as this drop came down, look at the volume. Nice. As this market's been going up, look at the volume. It's actually been dropping off, hasn't it? That tells me this is likely to be short-lived, and we're likely to see something like that coming real soon. So I want to see that downward movement first. Once that happens, then I'm going to jump on that train, and I believe we're likely to start seeing at least the movement down to 142 at least. That's what I see there. And then they're probably the two stocks there that I've been focusing on, guys. Amazon as well too. Amazon is also one that I've been really focusing on and really watching as well too. If you actually have a look at Amazon, we're actually sort of hovering around where we are right now. A little rally up, but if we get like a big down day on Amazon, I'll be shorting the crap out of this thing. And I do believe we have a target here around 860 at least. Makes sense, guys? So there's a few stocks, guys, that I want to talk to you guys about. And I hope you guys enjoy those stocks. They're what I'm looking at myself, guys. And you know, not every single one of these are going to work out. And there's no guarantees of these trades making profits. I am waiting for confirmation and all that down home country goodness. So let me talk about something that, you know, and us men, we don't like to talk about our mistakes, but I want to be open and honest with my mistakes with a few things that I did wrong just recently with a few trades. And I want to be open and honest about that because I want to talk to you guys about the life as a trader behind the scenes. You know what I mean? The life as a trader behind the scenes and what actually happens sometimes. So for the last quite some time, my trading has been phenomenal. I've had successful trades, bam, 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 bam. Like I think like 14 or 15 or 16 winners. You know, just win, right? So because I got into that phase there, I started to become very egotistic. Now, egotistic in a way where I thought that I was king and I thought every single trade I take is going to turn into profit. So I started to get into good trades. I started getting into good trades, but what I stopped doing was having good trade management. Good trade management. Now, good trade management simply means, and I know within my setup, if my trade doesn't move within a couple of days, I need to get out of that thing real quickly. Make sense, guys? So majority of the time I look back over those last 14, 15, 16 trades I've been successful in a row. They were successful because I was very quick to get out. Even if it was a small profit, a 12%, 15%, sometimes 30% profit, 50% profit, 70% profit. And if I look at those, I was in and out really quickly. In and out really quickly. So I was happy to do that. But then what ended up happening, guys, is that if I'm honest with myself, I didn't want to take a loss. And so therefore I started to create a story. That's all it was. It was a bullshit, fucked up story of reason why I should stay in a trade. Again, I'm being honest with you guys. Now again, guys, my account is still going up overall. I had good money management on these trades and I picked good trades. All right. So overall, you know, I just, out of those last, say 14, 15 trades, I think like, you know, and being honest with you guys, I think, you know, maybe probably close to a quarter, maybe between half and a quarter of my profits that I made in the last say month or so have been wiped out from these trades. Now again, see, my account still got up overall, so I'm not bad. I'm not upset about this, but I'm being honest with you guys. So what ended up happening with this situation? I started to go through a situation where I started seeing my trading register cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Well, it wasn't saying that, but I was saying green. And I just didn't want to take a loss. So instead of me taking a small loss, which would have been a small loss, instead of just saying, you know what, I'm in this for a couple of days, it hasn't moved, I'm just going to get out of this thing. Instead of me doing that, I thought, no, this is surely going to drop because of this, because of that, because this. And there was all these things, there was all this story around why I should stay in these trades. And it was actually around 4 different trades. These 4 different trades are the reason why I should stay in. Now, my trade management, my clear trade management always says within a few days, if it hasn't moved, just get out and get onto something that is moving. So instead of me sticking to that rule and having small loss, and and yes, I would have had 3 small losses, which would have took maybe 1/10, maybe 10% of my profits away instead of what happened. I started going into like, this can't happen. Every trade I take is going to run onto profits and yada, 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 right? And there was this old bullshit story around that. And this morning I had to swallow my pill and get out of these trades and lick my wounds and saying, fuck me. Now again, guys, I'm a very good trader overall and all in all. My account's still growing. Everything's still moving in the right direction. I just did the wrong thing by those trade managements. And I wanted to show you guys that, as you can see, that a lot of the success in the markets comes from your mindset, comes from your ability to be able to continue to do that. And so I'm being honest with you guys for one reason, so I can share this lesson with you so you guys can take that lesson as well. But also secondly, it's drilling it into me as well too, that when I get into if I get up to a nice setup, not every trade's got to be successful. And I need to accept the fact that not every trade's going to make me money. The fact of the matter is that the most successful traders on the planet are successful. And my coaches are successful. And one thing that my mentor says is like, he gets in, and if it's not moving within a couple of days, he's going to get out of that thing. And one of my mentors, he always said to me, he said, John, I'll wait and wait and wait and wait for that right setup. He said, then I'll jump on that thing. He said, I'll get in and I'll get out of those things as quick as possible. I look at one of my mentors right now, makes a lot of money, and he's in and out of trades really, really, really quickly, really quickly. Within 1 or 2 bars, a lot of the time. And sometimes he scales out, but depending on what type of trade it is. But I'm just trying to let you guys know and be honest with you guys about the situations and what actually happened with me recently, and being open and honest with you guys, because again, I'm not perfect, but I just want to share with you guys, if you are a guy watching this video, then when you have a loss, don't just push it underneath the rug. No, if you want to continue growing, if you want to continue growing, you want to keep moving forward, you want to keep making progress in the market, the best way is to look at your losses and say, okay, what did I do wrong there? Because that's now going to sharpen your tools, right? It's now going to sharpen your tool a little bit more, so you continue moving forward. Because I have a goal where I want to be Christmas this year. This little setback here is not going to stop me from achieving my goals for Christmas this year. What sort of goals do you have for Christmas this year? And the thing is that again, if you're a guy, don't be fucking egotistic like I was with these trades and not be able to take a loss. Just remind yourself that that's part of trading. You're gonna have 2 or 3 losses in a row sometimes. Heck, I had about 15, 16 wins in a row. I was due for a few losses anyway. But instead of me taking those few losses, which would have been small losses, they end up being a lot bigger losses than I was happy taking. But I had to swallow my pride, take it, and be open and honest with you guys. But all in all, guys, I'm still even with those losses, I'm still achieving a very high win-loss ratio. It's still around about that high 80s to 90% win-loss ratio. Overall, even with those losses, it's just those losses were a lot bigger than I normally have, and therefore it wiped out a good chunk of my profits. Again, my account's still growing, and I'm still happy with that. But there we go, guys. Especially if you're a guy, one, don't be egotistic about the markets and try to be right all the time. That's my problem, right? That was my problem with these trades, is I wanted to be right. And I didn't want to, all that sort of stuff, right? So as soon as you create some story, the reason why you should stay in a trade, just get out of that thing. It's a lesson that I have to keep learning again and again. And I go through them generally a couple of times a year. This is a lesson. I'm not bummed about it. I'm not down about it. I'm really excited about it because it's now giving me this. It's now giving myself back to a bit of a humility, and now it's actually getting me back on track to continue moving forward this year to have an amazing year. So there we go, guys. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you next time.